What's going on, my friends? I hope you're well. I'm doing well. I've just been very busy. Haven't gotten on lately. Not much is going on, uh, but I'm keeping myself busy. I want to get on talk about something. It's kind of an extension from when I went on my cruise back in January. Something I didn't really talk about. Now, it's not like videos haven't talked about this, but I don't think they went into great length of what's the most important thing that you need to take when you go on a cruise vacation. Some of you know this, some of you may not. Because I'm going to tell you, there's not an abundant supply of this stuff on the ship, and you can really get yourself into a lot of trouble if you don't make sure that you have this. Now, I'm not being a hypochondriac when I'm doing this. I've always taken this stuff and it's really helped. Now, I've got things in my hand that, the size is going to vary to how many days that you go on a cruise vacation and what you put it in. Um, I will suggest some of this stuff that needs to be in the containers that in, and I'll show you when I get to the point. But the most important thing that you need to take on a cruise ship is a few items. And you need to pack these few items in something that you would put your toothbrush and a lot of your deodorant and stuff in one of these type of things, or some sort of a bag or a pouch. It's like a kit that you would take with you. And what I'm referring to is some essentials of things in case you were to get sick on the boat, get seasick, need anything for pain relief or something. And I'm not being a hypochondriac. It's like, you know, first aid kit, they have an ER down below. But what they don't have an abundant supply of is like Advil and Tylenol. And I'm going to tell you, now, you don't need how many tablets? 500 tablets, but if you were to take 3 or 4 a day, if you were in really bad pain, and you needed to take it 3 or 4 days a week, 16 a day times, do the math, however many that you do. I don't take 4 at a time a lot like I used to when I was having really bad back problems or neck problems. But, take what you need of this. Take you some ibuprofen, Advil, definitely. I cannot stress it enough. Another thing, take you some Tylenol, okay? Now, for some people, weirdly, Tylenol alleviates fever for me. Advil does for some people, but take both. Trust me, just do this. Take both. You never know when you're going to need it. Some people can mix it. You have to be careful how you do that. I will tell you this, not to be shaken. Sorry about that. I will tell you this. When I was on my cruise in January, on the way home, half the boat got sick. I was one of them. If I had not taken Tylenol and Advil, I would have been in a world of hurt. Thank God I took some Mucinex. That helped. Take that. That's the next thing. Take your little sleeve of Mucinex just in case. Summertime you might be less likely to get sick. Taking a cruise in January, it's kind of a 90% chance you may get sick. It could have been somebody from the crew on the boat or a passenger. It's gonna happen. It's not that things are bad on cruises. They're very clean. It's gonna happen. I don't care how clean that boat is, it's going to happen. You're close to a lot of people, and I was on there for 15 days. It happened. I had the fever, and that controlled it. It really did. Take some Ricolas or whatever throat drops work best for you, just in case. Take some of those. Really, you just don't know. Have a little kit. Take that stuff. Don't. I mean, you're not being a hypochondriac. I promise you, there is very little sold in the gift shop, and it's just not a huge abundant supply. You know, if the infirmary down below is getting hit by 2,000 people wanting Advil and Tylenol, it can get pretty crazy. It really can, because they have a lot to take care of with the crew on the boat, and they tell the crew members, have your own stuff. You need to. You need to have your own Advil and your own supplies. Now, this is just a lidocaine cream that you would put surface for pain or something. But the reason why I have it is, if you're really prone to getting in the sun, you get sunburn. Take a bottle of what they call After Sun or something. There's companies that have lidocaine cream in it. Trust me, the infirmary, unless you really got bad sunburn or bad off, there's not much they can do for you. You just have to kind of ride it out. And I'm telling you, sleeping can be really uncomfortable when you're really sunburned. You've been sunburned. I should never have to tell you, but you're out on the ocean on a boat, and again, there's not an abundant supply of this stuff. And honestly, something like that After Sun with lidocaine, I've never seen it sold in the gift shop. It may be there, I don't know. But I know Hawaiian Tropic made a bottle of it. You don't need a real big bottle, just in case you need it. You have it. It is what it is. Some people are like, oh, I'm fine. I don't need that. Well, It's up to you. I'm just trying to tell you based on experience. I've been on a lot of cruises, and I can tell you there are some things you really should take. You're not being you're not being a hypochondriac, but these are important. I'm going to tell you another thing. I take a couple of times a year, and I should have taken it earlier before I got on the boat in January. I should have known. But oil of oregano is an amazing antibacterial and antibiotic. I'm telling you, it is. It really is knock some things out quick for me. If you ever get on the ship and you've got fever or a cough or sinus stuff, start taking 2 of these a day. I would think you would take, I'm trying to think, what did I take? 2 quick release traps. Yeah, take 2 a day. You don't want to take too many more than that. Be careful. Take a couple a day. Take them in the morning. Probably best to take it with food, but and just take it. You probably don't want to take it any more than 15 days at a time. It is oil of oregano. It's like it's oregano. It's the oil of it. It's natural. It's not gonna hurt you if you went over 15 days. But I'm telling you, this is little secret not a lot of people talk about. I'm not trying to be some herb fanatic or anything, but really, I'm sold on that. It really works. Now, I know some people get seasickness and some don't. I've only got seasick one time. I was on a 3-dayer. We were behind a hurricane. It was weird because the weather was beautiful, but it just got a little windy. Uh, we weren't in it, but the seas were rough, and you know, I didn't prepare myself for that. But the first night on the ship, we had a pretty heavy, shaky water at the Pacific back in January, and I took some of these, and I got them on Amazon. These are I am sold with these two. These are Upspring Stomach Settle. What it is it's ginger chews. You chew a couple of these. You don't do too many. Ginger is strong. This is pure ginger. And you a couple of these chews, it'll settle your stomach. You're good. Don't do the sugary ginger ale. That's not going to help your cause much. You don't have a lot of pure ginger in that. This is pure ginger chews. Again, you can get them on Amazon. It is called Upspring Stomach Settle ginger chews, and they're really just kind of lightly chew on them, and they'll dissolve in your mouth. And it's ginger, lemon, and it's mint along with some vitamin B6. Really good. These were amazing. And I'll be getting more in time because I'm telling you, good to have these around. Even if you got nauseous or your stomach, it'll settle it. In a lot of cases, not just for seasickness. They're really cool. So, guys, I can't stress this enough. Make sure that, and what I will also tell you, because the way they check things, you have to be very careful, especially if you're getting on airplanes. Make sure you have your Advil and the oregano in the bottle it comes with. Don't just put these separate in some bag because they don't know what that is. You're going to get held up. You're trying to prove what it is, and they think you're trying to smuggle something, especially on the ship and then on the airplane. Make sure that you have the ibuprofen in its bottle and this Tylenol. Now, listen, Tylenol is marked and ibuprofen is probably less likely, but the most important thing I will tell you is your medications. Any medications you have that are prescribed to you, please make sure no matter what they are in the prescription bottle, especially if you're getting on airplanes with the TSA. Do not have your prescription meds, even if it's some sort of a narcotic or something or whatever it is, a controlled substance of any kind. Do not ever transport through an airport or try to get a cruise ship with a medication that may be a controlled substance. Because if you made a prescription, but if you don't have the bottle, it's not going to help you. It's just a pill, and it's hard to prove. Most of you know that, but I'm just telling you, please be cognizant of that. Just keep the stuff in original bottles. If you're going on a 5 to 7 day cruise, you probably need about 100 tab bottles, something about half the size of this. Tylenol the same way. You don't need this big a bottle. But granted, that little kit, if God forbid you need it, you're going to thank yourself for that. So I just want to get on and share that video. I know it was a little random from January when I'm a cruise, but I do have a free cruise coming up in November. I had to pay a couple $100 for port taxes and fees when going out of Port Canaveral. And I'm going to get to see Celebration Key that's opening up this month. It's pretty cool. It'll be in November. So I've got my conference in October, and I just feel like taking a cruise this summer. I mean, if you've taken a cruise in the middle of the summer, so a lot of the kids on the boat and the behavior with younger kids, it's hard to bear. There were a few kids on the one in January, but they were homeschool kids. They were extremely well behaved. And I didn't see them much at all. It was all, most of that trip in January was all retired or older people or people my age on up. There weren't a lot of real young people on that boat. There were people, most of them were just self-employed like me and could do it, or retired, mostly retired people. So, but anyway, just want to get on and kind of share that. If you're going on a cruise, that is the most important thing that you can take on a cruise vacation with you. Do not ever forget that. I promise you. You'll thank yourself, and you'll probably remember what I told you and go, thanks, Chris. Thanks for that tip and that heads up. And some of you might not even give a shit. So, anyway, I appreciate you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Be cool. Bye.